Welcome to Stephen FM AI, Trump Daily Dump. Today, we're diving deep into some source documents that lay out a truly stunning blueprint, a coordinated plan to systematically tear down the post-World War II global order and remake it, well, by force.
So here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll go to the mountains of Davos to witness the dramatic breakup of a 75-year alliance. Then, we're going to see how that exact same playbook gets brought home to the streets of an American city. After that, we'll explore the plan for a political dynasty, and finally, we'll connect all the dots to reveal this audacious vision for a completely new world order.
Okay, so our story really kicks off where the bedrock of the Western Alliance, a partnership literally forged in the fires of World War II, was basically shattered in just a matter of days.
Now you have to look at this quote. The word that just jumps off the page is kerfuffle. Think about that for a second. This wasn't just some diplomatic slip-up, oh no, this was a declaration of an entirely new foreign policy. It was a signal that the administration sees allies not as partners, but as competitors in a zero-sum game.
And look, these weren't just random, off-the-cuff provocations. No way. These were calculated moves in a game of geopolitical chess, every single one designed to throw the old order completely off balance. From threatening a NATO ally over its territory, to insulting leaders so badly the head of the European Central Bank just up and walked out of a dinner. Every action was a message. The old rules? They're gone.
So what's the result of all this? Well, here's the crucial point. Europe is now creating a SWOT analysis for a full-on divorce from U.S. tech and defense. This isn't some theoretical exercise, folks. It's a sign of a profound tectonic shift in the global balance of power. For the first time in over 75 years, Europe is being forced to actively plan for a future where it just can't rely on the United States as its security guarantor. The consequences of that, well, they're absolutely immense.
But this strategy of just blowing things up wasn't limited to the world stage. The same playbook was being rolled out right here at home, with a new front opening up not in some foreign capital, but on the streets of a major American city.
In this chart, wow, it just lays out the scale of it all, doesn't it? This wasn't just a show of force, it was basically a military-style occupation. After the president's comments about Somali immigrants, thousands of federal agents poured into Minneapolis, a force that totally dwarfed the local police department and turned parts of the city into a fortress.
So how did the city respond? With a silent roar of defiance. The streets, normally buzzing with life, just fell quiet, shops closed down, schools were empty. The people of Minneapolis, in this single unified act, brought their entire city to a complete and total standstill.
You see, this was more than just some heavy-handed police action. It was a blueprint for a new kind of domestic control. You could call it a state of siege, where the federal government can just bypass local authorities and impose its will directly by force. It's a precedent that was tragically punctuated by the fatal shooting of a resident, Renee Nicole Good.
But look, for a political earthquake of this size to have a lasting impact, it can't just be about one person, right? It needs an ideology, and it needs a successor. And according to the source material we're looking at, that is precisely where JD Vance comes into the picture.
I mean, just look at this timeline. Vance's political journey is a fascinating case study. In just a handful of years, he went from being a vocal critic to the movement's designated heir apparent. And this shift was carefully guided by a powerful network of conservative mentors, all positioning him to carry that torch forward.
Now, this isn't just a slogan. It's a radical new ideology that's trying to redefine what it means to be an American. This Heritage American framework is basically a political theology that gives top priority to a very specific, narrow definition of identity, one that's rooted in a romanticized vision of the past. The whole goal is to turn a personality-driven movement into a political force that can last for generations. So, what does this all mean? The rupture in Davos, the siege in Minneapolis, the rise of an heir apparent, these are not isolated events. According to the source material, they're all part of a single, audacious plan to demolish the old world order and build a new one right in its place.
It really boils down to this. The old world was built on a foundation of trust, cooperation, alliances. This new world, it's being built on a foundation of power and self-interest. Alliances are being swapped out for rivalries, and diplomacy is being replaced by these transactional cutthroat deals.
And this quote right here, this isn't just a political jab. It is a deeply personal insult to the brave men and women who fought and died right alongside American soldiers. It's a total betrayal of the bonds of trust and sacrifice that have held the Western Alliance together for generations.
This isn't just a statistic, it's a gut-wrenching reminder of the human cost of that alliance. 457. That's how many British service members died in Afghanistan fighting alongside their American allies. To just dismiss their sacrifice isn't just an insult, it's a desecration of their memory.
And this is where it gets really wild. Enter the Board of Peace, the proposed replacement for the UN. It's basically a who's who of global rivals. America's closest allies are on the outside looking in, while adversaries get a prime seat at the table. And in a final, unbelievable twist, citizens from almost half the invited countries are banned from even entering the US. You can't make this stuff up.
Now, you might be thinking this is all just politics, but it's also a story about money. Big money. And right now, the smart money is betting on chaos. As global instability just keeps rising, investors are fleeing to the one asset they seem to trust: gold. The soaring price of gold is like a barometer for global fear. And right now, that barometer is completely off the charts.
So that really leaves us with this question, doesn't it? What's the bigger threat here? A world where international rules are just dismantled, or a country where the federal government can turn on its own people? A world where might makes right, or a nation where a state of siege just becomes another political tool?
I really want to know what you think. Which part of this story is the most alarming to you? Let us know your data point in the comments below. And hey, if you want to stay informed about the forces shaping our world, make sure you subscribe.
If you take just one thing away from this deep dive, let it be this. This isn't random chaos. It's a controlled demolition. It's the systematic dismantling of the old world order, piece by piece, to make way for something new and something a whole lot more volatile.
This is the vision of the New World Order, laid completely bare. A world without allies, without trust, and without rules, where power is the only currency that really matters. And that's the latest from Stephen FM AI, Trump Daily Dump.